What's up, y'all? It's the 26th race on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, and we're right here in. Wait a minute. I think I'm forgetting something. All right. Much better. I've missed you. Okay. All right, that's right. We're here in Darlington, South Carolina at the Darlington Raceway. Our second time being here, and this weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series will run right here at the Lady in Black, the track that is too tough to tame. Now, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series will return in Bristol a couple weeks from now, so they have it off. Now, the NASCAR Xfinity Series will run on Saturday afternoon. The Sports Clips VFW Help a Hero 200. That's 147 laps. That's 200 miles. Now, last year's winner, Denny Hamlin, will not win back to back due to not being running in this race. Now, the field is full of talent. Cup drivers Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Noah Gragson, and the Truck Series playoff contender Corey Heim in that 26, all in this race. And then along with all of the other talent that's in this Xfinity Series, this should be an amazing race to watch. Now, season's points leader and playoff leader, could Justin Allgaier, could he win this and sweep the Lady in Black as he won last time? We will see. With 4 races left in the NASCAR Xfinity Series regular season, anything is possible. After last week's race at Daytona, Ryan Sieg and Parker Kligerman are still in the playoffs, but after a disappointing race, Sammy Smith finds himself 15 points out of the playoffs. Now, 15 points also after a penalty. We will get into that later. Parker Kligerman and Brandon Jones and Sheldon Creed, but we'll talk about that here in our NASCAR news. But Brandon Jones finds himself 108 points out of the playoffs. Fast Pasta, Anthony Alfredo needs a win as well to get in. It's going to be interesting, the guys below the cutoff line, to see. We got 4 races left, but anything could happen. Now, the NASCAR Cup Series boys will run on under the lights on Sunday at the Darlington for the Cookout Southern 500. That's 367 laps, 501 miles. Now, Kyle Larson, last year the winner and this year's points leader, would love to get back after a crash last week at Daytona, but Tyler Reddick looks to extend his points lead and become the regular season points champion with after this race. Now, with an upset winner last week, the race will be full of suspense to get that one last spot to get in. Now, Truex, Gibbs, and Buescher are all in the playoffs for right now, but where Bubba, Chastain, and are 20 points plus out of the playoffs, but they look to win the race or race their way in on Sunday. Now, Kyle Busch and others below him here will need a win to get in. Kyle was so close last week. Oh, we were cheering him on, but we'll see what happens. Now, Brad Keselowski won here in the spring. Could he sweep the Lady in Black? We'll see, as he is in 8th place right now in the playoff standings. Now, after a bad blow last week with an engine penalty, Denny, could he get a win here? It's been bad news for the last couple weeks for Denny Hamlin, but it should be interesting to see what happens here at the Cookout Southern 500. Okay, so here's the paint schemes for both NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series. When I come back, I'll give you my favorite paint schemes like I do every week. And they used the throwback weekend last time we were here at Darlington for the spring race. There isn't many throwbacks. Can you find any? Let me know in the comments below. I'll recap a wild, crazy weekend at Daytona. Some NASCAR news with some crazy announcements with a new schedule and some stuff that happened in the Xfinity race, as I talked about just a bit ago. And my picks to win. So here's the paint schemes. Enjoy, and let's go. I hope you enjoyed those paint schemes like we do every week. And here are my favorites. I love that number 51 Boozy Pops Jeremy Clements Chevrolet. Hey, I'm about to go on vacation, and that looks like what we're going to be doing on this cruise. We're going to do some Boozy Pops. There you go. Now, I like that number 45 Garrett Smithley Ken McKnight AC Chevy. Looks like an old school paint job, and this is all I could find on Twitter. I don't know. Anybody know who that is? And the number 44 Breaded Pool Mac Doors System Chevrolet, the old Bill Elliott 1997 throwback. I like that one as well. And for the NASCAR Cup Series, the number 42 John Hunter Nemechek Mobile One Toyota. I love those Mobile One Toyota paint jobs. I love them. Every single one. From the gold to the white. I love them all. And then the 19 Bass Pro Shops Martin Truex Jr. Stars and Stripes, gotta love that one. I think I saw him win on this car at the Coke 600 one year. No, the Coca-Cola 600. Yeah, the Coca-Cola 600. So yeah, I've seen him in that paint job win. And number 15, Kaz Grella, he's back racing, folks. Kaz Grella in that meat and bone Ford. Gotta love that too. Now, number 11, Denny Hamlin. Hey, Sports Clips Haircuts Toyota. I don't have a Sports Clips hat. Maybe I need to buy one of those. A throwback to the old late Roy Hendrick, and also a throwback when Denny won the 2017 Southern 500. All right, so here's a recap of Daytona. What a crazy weekend it was, but we had a lot of fun streaming it. The NASCAR Xfinity Series ran under the lights on a Friday night at the Daytona International Speedway, the Wawa 250. Chandler Smith wins the pole. Justin Allgaier wins the first and second stages, and it looked like it was going to be his to lose. But then Fast Pasta was running in the top five, and it looked like he was going to win. We were all excited about Fast Pasta up front. Him and Allgaier riding together in the field. But he cut a tire trying to race for position, and then his day was done after getting involved in the big one. There was a 2-lap shootout between Ryan Truex, Justin Allgaier, Riley Herbst, and with a late caution, this race ends under a caution, and Ryan Truex wins his second race of the year. But all for naught, he has not started enough playoff races to make the playoffs. So Ryan Truex is out of the playoffs, but he's got 2 wins this year. Now, the Saturday, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 was a crazy race. The 2 front row motorsports cars, Todd Gilliland and Michael McDowell, were on the front row like they do front row motorsports. They led the field to a green flag. Not one caution in the first stage, and that was won by Josh Berry. Now, a scary moment for Daniel Suarez on pit road. His car catches on fire after an ignition from Denny Hamlin, and catches fire and catches the whole entire car on fire, and his day was done. Brought out the first big one of the day. Stage 2 goes to Joey Logano, and now in stage 3, all heck breaks loose. Lots of amazing side-by-side racing, 3 wide, back and forth, but it all comes down to the last 6 laps of this Coke Zero Sugar 400. Now, Bad Brad, he was penalized on a restart fraction, and that kind of saved his finish, though, after he sees what happens after he pits. Michael McDowell on a restart goes for a wild ride. Yikes, it was crazy looking. He almost flipped over the whole entire field, but luckily the new flap that they put on the side of the car saved it and put it back down. But that was the first big wreck. Now, Josh Berry, he was riding up front all day long, and until the next caution where he flips going down the backstretch upside down and ends his night. So it comes down to a 2-lap shootout. Rowdy finds himself all alone, and all he has to do is beat Harrison Burton, Parker Retzlaff, Christopher Bell, and Brad Keselowski there again at the end. That's right, I said Parker Retzlaff. This is Daytona. But on the last lap, those 2 guys, Harrison Burton, Parker Retzlaff pushes Harrison Burton to the front in that last turn, comes around, Rowdy tries to get around him, he blocks, and Harrison Burton gets into the playoffs. He was 34th in points before the race started, and now is in the field for the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Unbelievable race. But Harrison Burton, who loses his ride this year at the end of the year to Josh Berry in that 21 Wood Brothers Ford, gives Wood Brothers their 100th win. Who would have thought Harrison Burton was going to do the 100th win for the Wood Brothers? We all thought it would be Josh Berry next year. So, but Rowdy had a chance, but no cigar. So maybe this week at the Southern 500, he can get in. Okay, so here's some NASCAR news. The NASCAR 2025 NASCAR schedule is out now for all three series, and we have some announcements. The trucks, the Xfinity, and the NASCAR Cup all have new races for 2025. Here are some of the highlights. Now, the trucks welcome 6 new tracks and increase their races to 26. Man, they're going to be busy. Lime Rock, Watkins Glen, Rockingham, New Hampshire, and the Roval at Charlotte are some of them, are the 6 new ones. Now, the NASCAR Xfinity Series will add Rockingham and Mexico City, Gateway, and a second Bristol race, but will lose Richmond and one Darlington, and New Hampshire and Michigan. And there's a chance that Xfinity might not even be the sponsor next year. They're going to the CW after Bristol on TV. So we should see how that'll affect our streaming. NASCAR Cup Series has some big changes as well to new venues. Winston-Salem with the new Clash, and Mexico City. Atlanta, Homestead, and Watkins Glen are out of the playoffs. Darlington, Gateway, and New Hampshire are now in the playoffs. And Dega gets moved to the second round. So that should be interesting. That's a crapshoot in itself with a super speedway. Anybody can win that thing. So that should be interesting with maybe a big one takes out a contender that was supposed to win it all. But let me know what you think about the new NASCAR news, the new schedules for the trucks, the Xfinity, and the Cup race in the comments below. Now, here's some also news as well. The NASCAR Xfinity Series after the Daytona Wawa 250, the 27, the 28, and the 45 teams all have been issued an L1 level penalty for unapproved body panel modifications. Teams and drivers lose 20 points and 5 playoff points, but we'll see. So, all right. So here is my picks for the week. NASCAR Xfinity Series. Every time that 20 car has a Cup driver in it, they win. Tonight, this weekend, Christopher Bell is in that 20 car. Give me Christopher Bell and give it to me all day long. Christopher Bell wins this race. Now, my dark horse, Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones gets a little information from Allgaier, who dominated this race in the spring race. He secures his bid for the playoffs, and another JRM car wins at Darlington. Brandon Jones is my dark horse. Bad week last week at Daytona with the wreck. Book it. Brandon Jones is our dark horse. All right, here's my NASCAR Cup Series pick for the week. Now, this one's tough, but I know this is going to be same old, but I'm going Denny Hamlin. Hey, I get to wear his shirt and hat this week. I'm going to be supportive and pick Denny Hamlin. He also said on his podcast, I'm going to win this thing. I've had a rough time. All this stuff happening. We're winning this thing. And I believe him. So take it to the bank. Denny Hamlin wins Darlington. I know I said this last week, but let's do it, Denny Hamlin. So that's it. Now, my dark horse, I'm going to go Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs gets his first win. Last in the spring race, he was up front in the top 5 the whole entire race. Qualified 4th, stayed in the top 5 the whole race, but just not enough. Ty Gibbs wins at Darlington. That's my dark horse. The legend in training, Eric Church, if you're watching. All right, so there is my picks. The paint schemes, the NASCAR news. You're all set for the week. Now, what are we doing? Saturday, the NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying. We'll be streaming that. Right after that, we'll be giving you the NASCAR Xfinity Series, streaming that. And then on Sunday, Under the Lights at the Darlington, the Lady in Black, the track that's too tough to tame, the Southern 500, the Cookout Southern 500. Can't wait for it. The last race for the NASCAR Cup Series. Who gets in the playoffs? Who gets ousted? Watch and find out. So now you know when we're streaming, you know what our paint schemes are going to be. All you got to do now is show up. So until we see you soon, make sure you hit the like button on this video if you like the video, what you seen, and subscribe to the channel if you're new to us for all your NASCAR content right here on the Go at CeeLo. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you this weekend from Darlington. This is going to be fun. The cutoff for the NASCAR Cup Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series has a couple more races, but it's getting to the nitty gritty too. Let's see how it goes, and let's go.